That'd be awesome.
You know, they found
Just
weed.
gonna make him a bad guy.
They found weed on some Chinese dude from like some insane amount of thousands of years ago.
I thought an Egyptian tomb. Was it a Chinese tomb?
Maybe that too. I know they found weed in Egyptian tombs too.
Okay.
But they found a Chinese guy with weed in his stash. He had like a little bag.
Really?
Yeah, thousands of year old weed.
Little Ziploc made out
Everybody
of wood.
hears that story. He's like, I want to smoke it. Be like, trust me, bro.
There's
it's weed.
people that are trying to exhume William Shakespeare because
For what?
they want to test his body for cannabis because
Yeah.
they want to test his teeth.
Good luck with that.
Really?
Yeah, like what? You gonna do what? How important is it to you to prove a point, you fuck?
Does this scientist live in a Volkswagen?
Well, that was a very funny
We should
line.
dig up
That was
Shakespeare.
to steal Opie and Anthony's bit. That was line of the day.
Yeah.
Funny.
That's so true. Because wouldn't you think those teeth are long gone, right? I mean,
Yeah,
when did he
that's
live?
not going to happen. Come
When did he
on.
live?
I could see DNA being able to test that shit.
But they're never going to.
I watch Fringe. Medical science is crazy. I gotta piss.
I just got Fringe.
You should watch it. It's fun.
That's what I hear,
X-Files.
man.
It's J.J. Abrams' X-Files.
William Shakespeare, 1564. God damn, son. 1585 and 1592, he began a successful career in London as an actor, writer, and 1500s. See, that's some shit that you get when you go to England that you just can't even fathom here in America. You can get it a little bit if you go to Boston and go on like one of those little tours. It takes you to these houses from like the 1600s. Like there's a bunch of really old buildings that are still around, and especially tombstones. There's a bunch of fucking really old tombstones in Boston that are like from the 1700s and everything. It's a trip to look at. But this is 1500s, man. And this guy was out there writing things, and then people would perform what he wrote in front of a group of people. There's no microphones, man.
Hear
They're
they.
just talking loud.
Romeo.
And they believe, apparently, that he was a stoner.
Of course he
pretty sure.
is. I think everybody back then was.
They tested his pipe, apparently, as this is what I've read on the internet, that they apparently tested Shakespeare's pipe and found residue of the marijuana.
And why did they want to test to see if he was doing it? Just to see if he was doing it?
Because of what we all know, that it enhances creativity. Oh. You know, Carl Sagan wrote a brilliant piece on marijuana and why he uses marijuana. And just look up if you want to find this. Just look up for the people listening at home, Carl Sagan marijuana, and it was a sort of a lifelong ode to marijuana, and that he was a daily cannabis smoker.
Really?
Yeah, and that he said that what he had learned from marijuana, that there was some real lessons that he brought back from that state of consciousness that he could apply to other aspects of his life, that he could actually learn things that he believed weren't learnable, like weren't available to him. This thought was not available to him without cannabis. This is his belief, and this is, you know, Carl Sagan's a great mind, a fascinating person, you know, a guy who turned so many people onto cosmology, and his words were so, you know, there's so much of what he said was so appealing that they've taken a lot of it and put it on videos where they show like space, and then he'll be like going on some sort of a rant about the size of the cosmos or some incredible
techno music.
And you know, and they'd be so hypnotic. So guys like that are, you know, people will argue that he wasn't the most brilliant scientist ever, and what did he actually accomplish
First
in
of all,
science?
any scientist is smarter than you.
Yeah, for most people,
Like,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, you can't deny his contribution by getting people excited about astronomy. You know?
Oh yeah, people know. I know his
Yeah.
name. How many
Yeah.
scientists' name do I know?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You know, Stephen
Louis
Hawking.
Pasteur.
Yeah. Who's
I
the guy who
couldn't name
made peanut
10.
butter? Yeah, there's not that many, man. There's a small amount.
So he says he couldn't have done certain things without.
His exact quote, I would bring it, but my
And that your version of that is the flying squirrel pussy people.
Exactly.
There's no way I can come up without weed.
It's true. I believe that there's reasons why all this stuff is around. That's what I believe. I believe there's reasons why there's, you know, every different substance that exists on the planet. There's reasons why there's coffee beans. I believe.
But what does that mean? Does that mean everything has to be good for you? Or there's reasons.
No, it's just there's things that are terrible for you. You know,
Like
there's
quicksand.
Strychnine. There's plants that'll kill you. You eat those plants, you'll fucking die.
So what are the reasons for?
I don't know.
there has to be
That
some
ecosystem
reason.
is probably not connected to me, man. You know, but everything else that is connected to you, you should be aware of. And when someone like Carl Sagan tells you that cannabis connects you to the universe, and it makes you look at things in a different light, and it makes you, you know, a more sensitive person, it makes you more creative, and it's helped him.
I think
with a million different thoughts.
I think it's easy for people just to blow off with those people. So like, whatever, hippie
Yeah.
or whatever. But then it's like, okay, but think, what if a guy was right? Would he
Right.
possibly be a scientist that everyone's heard of?
Well, that's
maybe
the-
he's right.
People
Just think about it.
will get upset at me if I talk about pot too much. Like, dude, you're always talking about pot. Like, you need to lay off the pot talk. Look, I'm only telling you this because it's of benefit. It helps, and it's helped me. And I think that if you just approach it with discipline, it can be spectacular for your life. And I think that what it can do is that it can enhance your life. And I really, truly believe that, man.